teens flooding into downtown Chicago tonight, smashing car windows, trying to get into Millennium Park, prompting a major police response. Within the past few minutes, shots were fired near the corner of Madison and Michigan. Now, we had a news crew on the scene, but they had to move because of safety concerns. I was there a little bit earlier, about an hour and a half ago, and saw police escorting tourists and visitors to their cars in the Millennium Park parking garage. The crowd was trying to get into Millennium Park, but there are checkpoints that are not allowing anyone under the age of 21 who's not with an adult to get in. So they're massing across the street on the other side of Michigan Avenue. I spoke to a woman whose car was smashed by people jumping on the windshield. She says the crowd began beating her husband as he sat in the driver's seat. He's now been sent to Northwestern Memorial Hospital. I also talked to a woman, a Chicago native, who was appalled by what she saw.
What I see out here is completely ludicrous, to be honest with you. I'm appalled at what I see. I'm from Chicago, and I understand kids having a good time, but it's simply bad parenting. We have to do better as parents. Our kids should not be out here. Where are their parents at? That's my question.
The situation continues to develop at this hour. As we mentioned, we have a reporter on the scene, but there are some security concerns. Fox 32's Nate Rogers is on Michigan Avenue in a protective position. Nate, can you tell us what you see right now?
Yeah, that's right, Dane. As you just mentioned, we're downtown on Michigan and Randolph. I'm actually probably a block away from a lot of where the chaos has originated. Right now, Chicago police are trying to clear Michigan Avenue, at least from Randolph until maybe 3 or 4 blocks south on Michigan. Very active scene indeed. Hundreds of officers working this investigation. There are reports, unconfirmed by Chicago police, of multiple people shot at Michigan and Washington, also Michigan and Wabash. The Chicago Fire Department, we're told, is here along with paramedics and Chicago SWAT teams, all assisting in this investigation. Now, the chaos here downtown began or erupted just before 8 p.m. Several hundred young people traveling in groups, kids seen jumping barricades into Millennium Park, also jumping on top of cars. Other reports indicated large groups trying to force their way into the Art Institute. This appears to be one of those teen takeovers that we saw last year, publicized widely on social media, attracting thousands into the downtown area as well as to Chicago area beaches. The teens are seen with their cell phones out, Bluetooth music speakers blasting, dancing while recording videos, hoping that they'll go viral. Now, I'm back out here live really just within the last 10 minutes or so ago. My photographer and I, Raphael, we heard at least 4 gunshots while we were standing at Michigan and Washington. We ran along with another TV news crew just to get to safety. Maybe 5 minutes after that, we heard even more gunshots. And so right now, Chicago police are trying to clear this area. If you can see from where I'm standing right now, gridlock traffic indeed. I mean, Chicago police here in great numbers, along with the Chicago Fire Department, paramedics. We understand that SWAT teams are here as well. A lot of folks are being rerouted to nearby public transportation just so they can get home. We also have seen police trying to escort tourists back into their hotels. Chicago police working right now to get a handle on all of this. We haven't received any updated information on if there have been any victims associated with any of this. That is the latest here in downtown Chicago. Nate Rogers, Fox 32, Chicago.
Nate, just to clarify, I want to ask you quickly, you're standing at the corner of Michigan and Randolph. Is Michigan Avenue shut down right now?
Yes, sir, at least from our vantage point, Dane. But keep in mind, Michigan and Randolph is probably 500 feet from where I am. I'm a little bit further into, closer back towards the lake, if you will. We really just had to get out of the way because the teens were running, officers were running. From our vantage point, you can't even, I don't even think there's traffic flowing along Michigan Avenue because the cars are stopped right now.
Yeah, it looks from that shot as though at least Michigan Avenue has been shut down. Nate, stay safe. Thank you very much for that report.
Well, chaos breaking out in downtown Chicago on Saturday night as hundreds of young people crowded the streets. And the video coming from this shocking, showing massive groups jumping on cars, causing tourists to flee. The sound of gunfire. 2 teens were hospitalized after they were shot in all of this. News Nation affiliate WGN's Courtney Spinelli has the latest on the city's response.
Right now, things are much quieter than last night when hundreds of young people flooded this area, prompting a massive police response. During it, 2 teens were shot and rushed to the hospital, both said to be in fair condition. This right here is what it looked like on the streets of Chicago Saturday night.
We had people jumping on cars. This is insane.
Large numbers of young people crowding the area of the Loop from Michigan Avenue to Clark Street and could be seen jumping on parked cars and smashing windows. 2 times, groups of teens were also seen punching, kicking, and stomping on someone on the ground.
The crime in Chicago is simply out of hand. It's nuts.
Community activists outraged and calling on city leaders to help address the crime.
We need to give the Chicago Police Department the funding and the resources that they need to take care of this crime in our communities.
As chaos unfolded Saturday night, it was enough to disrupt traffic and CTA service. Officers flooded the scene, attempting to control the crowds.
There needs to be more respect for our police officers. There needs to be more law and order. The punks outside in the street, they don't care. They can do anything they want.
In the midst of it all, shots were fired just after 9, leaving 2 teens injured. A 17-year-old boy was hit in the leg, and a 16-year-old boy was shot in the arm.
There were crowds in the streets, there were people yelling, there were police cars, so I used my running capability and we basically ran back to our hotel.
Margaret Vatum says she came to Chicago to see the ballet, but it was the scene in front of her that caused her to move quickly back to her hotel. She's been to the city many times before, but feels uneasy after Saturday's events.
I am kind of nervous about coming to Chicago in warmer weather again. When it's nice and cold, people seem to not be out acting like this, but it was scary.
Locals Stuart and Heidi Floyd say they only saw a large group of kids, but didn't see anything destructive happening.
When we walked by, it was a large group of kids, and they were just kids being kids. So we didn't see any of the vandalism or destruction.
Meantime, this isn't the first time this weekend police have responded to a massive group of teens. Hundreds took over 31st Street Beach Friday night, where a 14-year-old boy was also shot.
This is beautiful city. We do not want to see the city makes the world news again.
This afternoon, outgoing Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot issuing a statement saying the city will not allow public spaces to become a platform for criminal conduct. She also says CPD leadership has assured her that they will make adjustments to address these teen trends as they head into the summer months. Natasha?
All right, thank you so much for that report. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.